Gligar's Ice Fang can deal significant damage to Iron Bundle. Its bulk allows it to potentially survive and retaliate against Iron Bundle's attacks. Hi, hello, Vinny and Dragon here, and welcome to a bit of an interesting video, because today I'm going to be asking ChatGPT how to win MMC Season 4. Now, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, like, all that stuff. I do Pokemon content all the time, so you're going to really fall in love with this channel. I try to upload as frequently as possible, so please make sure to subscribe. Alright, now, to get a bit of a disclaimer out the way, I don't support using AI to replicate real human labor. I don't support AI art. I don't support any of the things like that. I think all of that is terrible. I'm just using AI to laugh at it and make fun of it for the sake of a video. This is not in any sort of way condoning that sort of stuff. I'm just gonna ask AI to give me some draft advice and laugh at how bad it is. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. Alright, so first off, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT just to help me build a team. Now, MMC is a league in Scarlet Violet, but just for the sake of this, if ChatGPT gives me any Pokemon that aren't in Scarlet Violet, I'm gonna be okay with it. So I'm just gonna ask them, can you build me a Pokemon draft team consisting of 10 Pokemon... I don't know when I got in caps lock. A Pokemon team consisting of 10 Pokemon with a hyper offensive style. The limit is 115 points, so try to ban good Pokemon and more underrated Pokemon. Alright, now, we got ChatGPT's response, let's read it. So, starting off, for a hyper-offensive Pokemon team within a 115-point limit, we'll need to carefully balance strong, high-impact Pokemon with some underrated ones that can make a significant impact. Here's a team designed to maximize offensive pressure while adhering to the point limit. Talonflame, 6 points. It gives me a set here. I don't think Talonflame's has 6 points. I think I'm gonna have to pay a bit more for Talonflame. I mean, not a bad Pokemon. Definitely not a bad Pokemon. Let's check and see how much it is in the MMC tier list. Okay, so Talonflame is 10 points. Yeah, ChatGPT was a little off. I didn't give them the tier list, though, so I guess they could only really guess, but... yeah, that's... they're a bit off. The next Pokemon they said was Garchomp. Honestly, very solid for a hyper-offensive team. It gives a lot of pressure, it hits really hard, you could even build it defensively with hazards. Overall, I actually really like the Garchomp pick. Why did they say it's 7 points, though? Yeah, try, like, 17. Alright, after checking, Garchomp was actually 16 points. So, let's throw Garchomp in here. The next Pokemon is Excadrill. Now, Excadrill actually does kind of work well with, Garchomp, I guess, because they're both sand abusers. The problem is that it's not 6 points, though. They're getting these point values. Like, I was like, oh, maybe they'll get some low-tier Pokemon if I put the point values in. That is not a low-tier. That is a very expensive guy. Alright, it seems like Excadrill is actually worth 15 points. So let's put it in and go on to the next one. Weavile. I mean, I do really like Weavile on a hyper-offensive team, but, like, okay, we're losing a lot of... when I said hyper-offense, I wanted some defensive utility, and... There isn't a lot here. You have Garchomp, I guess, but that's really it. But I'll add Weavile to the team. Thanks, ChatGPT. Alright, Weavile is going on the team for 16 points. We have 58 points left, and we have 6 more options. Next up is Hawlucha for 4 points. A bit more expensive than that, but again, Hawlucha is actually a very solid Pokemon, and it has some types that we don't have, so I'm very excited to have Hawlucha on this draft team. Thank you, ChatGPT. Next up, we have Incineroar! That was a terrible impression. I'm not leaving that in the video. Next up, we have Incineroar. Now, 8 points for Incineroar is kind of funny, because that's actually probably closer to what he is, honestly, ranked. But if we scroll up, like, Garchomp was 7, so I don't know where they're getting this value from. Probably VGC, especially since they have Fake Out. But, yeah, I guess Incineroar is really needed on this team. Next up, we have Salamence. Again, a very strong Pokemon. A bit over the point threshold, though. Just a bit. Next up, for number 8, we have Greninja. I mean, a great Pokemon. Amazing Pokemon. But I'm noticing a problem, and it's that all of these are just fast damage dealers. And we have no sort of hazard game. We're lacking some key cores here. I think ChatGPT's just like heard Hyper Offense and immediately assumed that all the Pokemon had to be the exact same archetype. But it's cool. Greninja on the team for 17 points, I guess. Next up is Volcarona, and yeah, we've hit our quota. We can't fit Volcarona on this team with the amount of points we have. So, I am going to ask ChatGPT to replace the last two Pokemon with not fully evolved Pokemon, which will hopefully fill the point requirement. Alright, so I'm going to say, hey ChatGPT, this team is good, but unfortunately I cannot afford Volcarona and Crocodile with only 115 points. Can you suggest some good, not fully evolved Pokemon which may be cheaper? Alright, so here's the beginning of the team, which is about the same. Excadrill, Garchomp, Weavile, just some of our classic guys. And then towards the end, we have Fletchinder, I see, and Gliscor, which is more expensive than Volcarona. Alright, so we're gonna downgrade Talonflame to Fletchinder, which is down here, so 1 point, okay. And with 14 points, that does not give us enough to pick up Gliscor, but we could pick up Gligar, since I said not fully evolved Pokemon, for 7 points. And that gives us exactly 9 Pokemon with 7 points left. Alright. So, I'm not going to look at anything. I'm just going to say, hey, ChatGPT, can you give us a Pokemon that's not very good competitively, and see what they give us. Wigglytuff is a decent option. Lunatone is a decent option. Masquerain. Delcatty. Carnivine. Pachirisu. Shuckle. Okay. Of these, we don't have a fairy type yet, and we have 2 dragons. So, I'm willing to go more into the Wigglytuff. Let's see how much Wigglytuff is. Alright, Wigglytuff is 2 points. That gives us 5 points remaining, but I'm just gonna take it. Alright, so this is the team that ChatGPT gave us. Ooh boy, it certainly... it certainly is a good one. Let's look down at our type chart, and ooh boy. We don't have a poison type, we don't have a rock type, we don't have a ghost type, we don't have an electric type, we don't have a grass type, we don't have a bug type, we don't have a psychic type. As well as 5 overlapping types. We're weak to water, we're weak to rock, and we're weak to fairy. Overall though, our speed tiers actually look very solid. I don't hate these speed tiers. Not having a 90 is a bit odd, but overall, I don't hate this at all. What's funny is, after all of this, we actually did end up getting a couple pieces of removal after all that, and a ton of Stealth Rock setters. Now, looking at this type chart, seeing as we're so weak to fairy, and we're so weak to rock, and we're so weak to water, I decided, let's ask ChatGPT for some very specific matchup advice. So I'm gonna ask ChatGPT how we answer an offensive Iron Valiant. Just a random good fairy type and see what they say. Alright, I said, hey ChatGPT, I selected my team. It is the team I just said. Now I matched up against an Iron Valiant this week. Can you give me some suggestions, sets, or tech ideas on how to not lose to it? Alright, so they want me to use Gale Wings Fletchinder, which is offensive with Brave Bird. That's actually not a bad idea. They want me to run Choice Scarf Garchomp, as Earthquake can do significant damage to Iron Valiant, and Choice Scarf will always make sure that you outspeed. They want me to run Focus Sass Excadrill with Iron Head. They think that Weavile Knockoff is a good move, that I should just be clicking into his team. Hawlucha can outspeed Iron Valiant with its Unburden boost, and High Jump Kick hits hard. Okay. And make sure to use Substitute to avoid potential status moves. Honestly, getting around Hypnosis Iron Valiant with Substitute, not a bad idea. And they want me to run Assault Vest Incineroar. Okay. Dragon Dance Salamence. Okay. Life Orb Greninja. Physically Defensive Gligar. Wait, what is this specific? Oh my god. Wait, what is the speed creep? Hang on, I have to check what the speed creep is. After checking, 72 speed is not enough to outspeed a min-speed Iron Valiant, so I really have no idea what this hyper-specific 72 speed is for. If you know, let me know in the comments. I'm actually very curious. And then they think that I should run a specially defensive Wigglytuff with Dazzling Gleam to deal significant damage to Iron Valiant and be a bulky Wish Passer. General tips. Predict and counter, pay attention to Iron Valiant's moveset and item, use a Pokemon that can effectively counter its moves and resist stab attacks. Speed control, physical versus special, it knows that Iron Valiant's a mixed attacker. I mean, overall, that wasn't... Honestly, that was not a bad answer. Now, next up, even though my team actually doesn't seem to have a bad matchup into it, I mean, it's a pretty bad matchup. I'm going to ask them how they think I should counter Iron Bundle, because I like Iron Bundle, and this team really doesn't like it. So, let's go check. Hey ChatGPT, I'm not facing an Iron Bundle. I need to know some sets, ideas, or text in order to help my team survive. They want me to run Fletchender Brave Bird to hit Iron Bundle. Be cautious of its Ice-type moves. You'll need to manage Fletchender's health carefully in order to make sure it can survive and retaliate. Okay. Choice Scarf Garchomp. Okay, sure. Focus Sash. Okay, so these are the same. Halucha with Unburden. Incineroar's Darkest Lariat can hit Iron Bundle effectively. Its Assault Vest provides additional special defense to help resist Ice-type moves. I mean, it's not wrong. Greninja's Ice Beam can be used to counter Iron Bundle effectively. Protean provides stab bonuses and allows Greninja to adapt to the situation. So, it's recommending that I use Protean Ice Beam in order to resist Freeze Dry, which is honestly kind of funny, so I'm content to allow this. Good job, ChatGPT. Physically defensive Gligar. Gligar's Ice Fang can deal significant damage to Iron Bundle. Its bulk allows it to potentially survive and retaliate against Iron Bundle's attacks. Yeah, guys, alright, we know the strat. Bring physically defensive Gligar to all of your Iron Bundle matches. Especially defensive Wigglytuff with Wish is just the best thing it could have suggested here. I mean, that's probably the only thing on this team. Iron Bundle's Ice-type moves could be deadly, so use Pokemon that resist Ice. Yeah, okay. Iron Bundle's high speed can be challenging, so consider using priority moves or those that can outspeed and strike first. Fair. Iron Bundle might carry coverage moves to deal with various threats, so be prepared for its potential moveset and adjust your strategy accordingly. Yeah, Iron Bundle might carry coverage moves. By using these strategies and sets, you should be prepared to handle Iron Bundle and mitigate its impact on your team. Overall, not the worst advice. I mean, I guess Gligar was the worst advice. Well, guys, if you appreciate the team ChatGPT made, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm not going to use this team for MMC, but if you do want to see what team I do use for MMC with my own human brain, be sure to like and be sure to get ready, because we're going to be in for a doozy these next couple weeks, but I hope you'll be along with me for the journey, and I really hope to see you there. Anyway, get out of here.